Hey guys, it's me, Boom, and I'm back, and today I have a very exciting video because I'm going to show you a infographic about Blitz. Now, Blitz is probably not that confusing if you've played the game for a long time and you know where characters go, you know all the synergies. If you've played the game for a while, you probably have all these 5-member teams engraved in your mind, but I think sometimes as a new player it's a little overwhelming. You know, you look at a huge roster like this, so many characters, it gets a little confusing. You probably don't really know where to start with what characters synergize with each other. So I wanted to release this little infographic for you guys. So let me pull that up. So here we have the old one. This is from 6 months ago. This would have been from roughly the end of the summer before I left for college. And as you can see, there's all these updates that occurred while I was at college. No Baron Zemo, no symbiotes, no Pimtech, no new X-Men team. All that kind of stuff is not on this tier, this Blitz list. This isn't a tier list. They're not organized by power. It just sort of, I'm trying to find ways to gather all the characters onto teams. So that way, if you wanted to use every character on your roster once, I would say this is roughly the best way to build the teams, but that's the outdated one. Let me show you the current one. So here is the brand new updated Blitz team list. So as you can see, this puts almost every single character in this game onto a team. So if you wanted to just see how the teams get set up in the game, you can look at this right here, and this will give you a very accurate look at the game. Now, this isn't perfect. I have to sort of mix some teams together. For example, some interesting places to highlight. Bottom right down here, this X-Men team. You know, this isn't fully built out yet. I put Psylocke in there because I don't think Psylocke goes on the core X-Men team, and you sort of have this new X-Men team forming. They're missing a 5th member still, so you know there's still some finalization to go on right there with that team. Down in the bottom left, I have some interesting pick right here. I think it's a cool team. I think it would perform relatively well in action. Since the last time I made this Blitz team list, the Sinister Six was kind of garbage. Dr. Octopus was not, and now Dr. Octopus, Swarm, and Electro are out. They boot out 3 of the original Sinister Six members, and I keep Mysterio on there because he has the war benefit, and I put Rhino on there. I just think Rhino's the better of between Vulture, Green Goblin, and Shocker, because this Sinister Six team I think performed very well, so I want to put the best characters I can on it. And then I think Longshot and Shatterstar are very competent characters, so I think you could put those leftover Sinister Six characters with Longshot and Shatterstar, and they could perform well. Now again, eventually the rest of the X Factor team is going to come out, and this is going to change, so who knows, I might be back at college then, I might not be. Depends on whether or not they let me back. They're unsure about moving date at the moment, so hopefully there will be an updated Blitz team list at that time. Eventually there'll be an updated Blitz team list for those kind of things right there that are more creative teams. And as you can see, this I put Night Nurse on the Defenders. Originally Punisher was on there last time I made this. I put Punisher with the Skeletor team, and I left a blank on the Wakandan team because I really don't know who you can put on the Wakandan team. They're so bad, and they just get even worse with Killmonger off it. I don't really know what you can do about that team, I'm gonna be honest with you. Night Nurse I put on with the Defenders, and I think the Defenders are, they're not bad. You know, they sometimes get the job done, and I think, you know, Night Nurse isn't necessarily going to bring down their capabilities that much. It's definitely worse than with Punisher, but it is what it is. These teams right here with Ultron and Doctor Doom, these are just random leftover minions that don't get on other teams, and you can just put them with Ultron or Doctor Doom and they'll perform quite fine in my opinion. The only team I think on here that would lose somewhat frequently is this Hand team with Kingpin. I'm trying to, you know, make the most out of what we have here. A little iffy on that team though. Be careful with that team right there. I just have some gold stars on some characters. We'll see. In my opinion, the team can't really function without the character with the gold star. Obviously Doctor Doom and Ultron in these teams, you need them. And you know, Red Skull I think he's really important for the minions. Dr. Octopus very important for the Sinister Six members. Magneto very important for the Brotherhood, but that doesn't always apply with every team. For example, Pimtech, you know, Ghost is obviously the best member on that team, but I would say without Ghost, the Pimtech team still is performing, you know, not too far off of where they would be performing with Ghost, assuming you put like Vision or something else on that team as a 5th member. You know, because there's some teams like Taskmaster, you take Taskmaster off the team doesn't work. They're garbage. They're bottom tier minions. but Taskmaster is what gives them all their benefits and stuff like that. Another interesting thing is putting She-Hulk on this team. Booting Namor off the Fantastic Four team really makes the Fantastic Four team, I think, very competent. I didn't even level up She-Hulk all that much, and my Fantastic Four wins much more often in Blitz instead of Namor being on there. Namor has a couple of places he could potentially go. I think he could work with a mutant villain, because right here, this Marauders team, a lot of their traits are mutant villain. A lot of them say mutant villain benefits. Namor is a mutant villain, so he can go with that team if you don't have Emma Frost or something like that. I think he's an excellent 5th member for the team. And he can also go on this mishmash team because most veteran players probably have Namor leveled up for a long time. He was the 5th member of the Fantastic Four team, so you probably do have him at a decent level. And of course, there are a ton of teams here that don't change that much over time. And Humans, they're the same as they've always been. As Guardians, same as they've always been. Brotherhood, same as they've been for quite a while. You know, the Avengers team, this was a rework right here. Originally, I had like this mix of like Shield Medic, Agent Coulson, stuff like that. I just go straight Avengers here. I keep Thor and Iron Man on their respective teams, and I think between Black Widow, Hawkeye, and Vision, I think you could pull together a pretty decent Avengers team right there, and I'm a pretty big fan of that team. I'd say they're a little close to the yellow territory in terms of how consistently I think they can win, but that's okay. Skeleton, I don't even have the full team out yet, but I'd consider them green. I think they're going to be a very strong team. Of course, we'll have to see, and I'll change it in future versions of the Blitz team list if they aren't as strong as I believe they will be, but I think they're going to be pretty competent. And the only reason why I'm leaving Iceman and Kitty Pryde and their team as a yellow tier is they don't have Jubilee, and I assume once Jubilee comes out and they have their legendary character, that team's going to be pretty awesome, and they'll probably be a green tier team. But until that day comes, you know, they're just sort of that's how I plan on running the X-Men for a while. I assume I'll have Beast, Iceman, and Kitty Pryde. I'll put Psylocke on there, and then just throw Namor on there or something like that, maybe as my 5th member until the time comes. Another thing I like to note is the Guardians of the Galaxy, I use Gamora instead of Mantis. I put Mantis on here though because people kill me if I say I like Gamora more than Mantis. They go ham. They do not like it, because there's some justification that Gamora could go on the Brawlers team right here with Miles Morales and stuff like that if you put Mantis on the team, but my Gamora's just up so high by the time Mantis came out. It was sort of a similar idea with She-Hulk to Namor. Why do I want to level up someone else to boot someone off my team and stuff like that? But I hope something like this can help you out as a new player, sort of give you guys, you know, I think there's a lot of characters in the game. I'm not complaining. I love that there's so many characters, but it can be a little overwhelming, and I hope this sort of breaks it down into a little bit more digestible chunks. You know, you can sort of see these are the teams in the game. These are the kind of teams you're going to be running against in Blitz. These are the characters you can expect to see working together. It can help you sort of formulate your teams within your own roster. I love doing this kind of stuff. Did take a little bit of time today because I did have to update it after like 4 months of a hiatus on making these. Make sure to tell me down below in the comments if there's any changes you think I should make to this list. This isn't set in stone, and like I said earlier in this video, I will be updating it whenever I get to make this list next. So I always like to hear what you guys have to say, and I'd like to think I do a pretty good job of implementing what you guys think into the future list. But at the end of the day, what do I really know? Because I am only a 19-year-old. I hope everyone can have a happy and healthy day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Sign off, everyone.